So today we're going to be covering Mississauga and the July market update that just came out. So what I've done is right off the bat, I want to get to what everybody wants to see. They want to see how much prices have dropped. So this is how much prices have dropped since the month of January. And I broke it down by the type of house, like detached homes, semis, condos, condo townhouses, and freehold townhouses. So detached homes have dropped 19% since the month of January, and semis are down 22%. Freehold townhouses are down 17% and 14% for condo townhouses, and condos are down 10%. Now let's look at how July did in comparison to every single month this year in terms of number of sales. You can see at the peak of the market, Mississauga was selling over 1,000 houses in March, and February was right next to it at 854. But look at how much it has dropped. In all of July, only 440 homes sold in all of Mississauga. For those people who live in Mississauga, you guys know how huge Mississauga is. Like, imagine all the way from like Winston Churchill past Dixie and like Heartland Center, Port Credit, like Square One. It's a huge, huge market. And in all of Mississauga, only 440 homes sold. And you can see it's been tanking since the month of April. By the way, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think August is going to be even slower than July? Leave me a comment below, and maybe we can check back in a month or so and see how many of you guys were correct. Okay, now I know some people like to compare it to last year, because they're like, okay, yeah, of course, the market was crazy in the wintertime this year, so it doesn't really count. Let's see how it compares to last year. So I compared it to July of last year. You can see this is number of sales for the month of July of 2021. And this is the number of sales for July of this year. You can see every single market, like type of house, is down. Detached homes, 39% down. Semis, 56% down. Condos are down 57%. So this is not prices, this is number of sales. Okay, and if you guys want to know, if you guys are just curious, like, the market share for Mississauga, detached homes make up 36% of the market, and condos are not too far behind. They're at 29%, and everything else is right around the 14-15% mark each. Okay, that was just something a little bit interesting. I want to throw that in there. Now, I also had somebody ask me, sorry, let me fix my screen here. I had somebody ask me that, okay, you cover average and median prices, and that's fine, but it doesn't give the full picture. So can you break it down by price ranges as well? So I was like, okay, sure, no problem. It took me a lot more work, but I don't mind it if it helps the people. Like if it's useful, I don't mind putting in the work. So if you look at the 1.5 to $2 million mark, they were selling a whole bunch. They were right around like 150 to 175 range in the peak of the market, and February as well. And it has been going down ever since. I would say right now they're down below 50 homes sold in the 1.5 to $2 million range. If you look at the $2 million plus range, they were selling a whole bunch. Like February, March was pretty busy, probably around like the 80 mark, and it has been going down. It is almost non-existent. I would say probably around like the 25 homes sold over $2 million. And the 1 million to 1.5, it has been going down as well. You can see here, like they were over 300 sales, and now it's just over 100. The $500 to $1 million mark, that's holding down a bit, holding steady a bit. I mean, it's still going down, but not as much as the others, because a lot of condos fall in this category. So condos are kind of carrying the market right now for Mississauga. Okay, well, we're not done, but if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, like stats and stuff, especially like this kind of stuff, it took me a long time to put together. That's why I put a watermark there. Sorry about that, but I've noticed a few agents have just been screenshotting my stuff and presenting it as their own. So it's kind of sneaky. But please consider subscribing, because it does help out the channel and kind of makes my day. It cheers me up. So now let's get into the actual numbers. So far, what we've been covering is just like number of sales, but how are prices doing? So this is all homes average prices, like detached, semis, freeholds, condos, and condo townhouses. And every single month, I've been kind of keeping track since the month of January. So for detached homes, January was the peak of the market, and they dropped just a bit in February, and then they have been dropping since. So they were almost at the $2 million mark, and right now they're just above the 1.5. And same thing with semi-detached. They peaked in February, and now they are below the $1 million mark. And every single market is down. You can see condos are dropping, but not as much as like the other markets here. So condos still, July is posting the lowest average price we've seen this year, but it's not as drastic a drop as some of the other ones like semis and detached homes. Now let's look at the actual numbers, because some people want to see the actual numbers. So these are the actual numbers, and what I've done is every single month, this is how much they were selling for. And right now in July, they are selling just below 1.6. That's the average price for a detached house, just below 1.6. And that is a drop of about $374,000 since the month of January. Okay. Now, if you guys are interested in median prices, because I know some people say like, why do I cover median? It's a waste of time. But when I didn't cover median prices, they're like, why don't you cover median? You know, you're not giving the full picture. So I will just give you guys as much as I have access to, and then you guys can pick and choose whichever one's useful to you. So if you guys want to look at detached median prices, they were selling over $1.7 million, and now they've dropped to 1.37. And that's a drop of $331,000 for detached median. And if you guys want to look at semi-average prices, they were at 1.25 in the month of January. They actually peaked in February. They were about 1.3. But if you compare it to January, they are down $271,000. And same thing with median, they are down actually $283,000 since the month of January, selling just about 1.25. Freehold townhouses. Average prices for a freehold townhouse peaked in the month of February. They were at 1.28, but in the month of January they were selling for 1.2. That's a drop of $206,000 since the month of January, because right now they're just around the $1 million mark. Median, same thing. They are down $274,000 since the month of January. And by the way, if I am a real estate agent, if you guys need any help, like honest advice, somebody who's going to work hard and tell you the truth, you can reach me at this number, or you can call me or text me, whatever's easier. Thanks. They were selling at $929 in the month of January, and now they are just below $800,000. That is a drop of $130,000 in a matter of 7 months. For if you guys want to look at condo townhouses median prices, and they are down $147,000 since the month of January. Now let's look at condos, because condos make up a huge portion of the market in Mississauga. They peaked in the month of February and March. They were at $736,000. In January, they were right around $700,000, and now they're selling for, on average, $628,000. That's a drop of $68,000. Okay, and if you look at median prices, they are down $60,000. So $68,000 in average prices, $60,000 in median prices. And now let's compare it to last year. What I did before was I compared the number of sales, and you saw like most type of houses, they were down like 30% to 60%. That was for the number of sales. Now, if you guys want to compare prices for July 2021 and July 2022, you can see this is what they were selling for last year, and at the same time this year, this is what they sold for. So the prices are actually up anywhere from 1% to 8%, 8% for condos, and 2% for semis and detached homes. Now, why does this matter? To me, personally, I like to know what's going on in the market like today and in the past 2-3 months, because that gives me the most recent data. But some people wanted to compare it to last year, so I just put that in there. If it's useful to you guys, no problem, it's here. Okay, now let's look at how many listings got canceled in the month of July. So I've been keeping track every single month how many listings are getting canceled. More than likely, a lot of these listings end up back on the market because they get relisted as a new listing, and then the sellers and their agent, they want to just start fresh. So you can see when the market started changing, a whole bunch of listings were getting canceled because a lot of people were kind of caught in the middle. Like they didn't know, like, okay, do we price it according to spring or do we price it according to the summer? and that's why you saw a lot of cancellations going up, especially in June. But now they've come down quite a bit compared to the month of June. So I think what's happening is the sellers and their agent, they've kind of come to terms with the market, and they've realized like, okay, you know what, I'm probably not going to get the winter and spring prices, so let's just list it according to today's. So that's why you saw this number drop, and that's my gut feeling anyways. Look at SNLR as well, because what it is I've covered it in my previous videos. It just means that how many listings are coming up and how many are selling, and the ratio between them. And if it's below 40%, we are in a buyer's market. If it's above 60%, we are in a seller's market. So let's see how it has changed since the peak of the market. So what I've done is I took the peak of the market, which was February 2022, and I compared it to this month, July 2022. So the number we're looking at right now is this number here and this number down there. So for Mississauga was at 75.4% at the peak of the market, which means a heavy seller's market, and now it has dropped to 61%. Now, according to this, it would mean that technically we are in a seller's market, because anything above 60 is a seller's market. But let me tell you, just by being out there talking to sellers and buyers, just showing houses, we are nowhere close to a seller's market. I don't doubt there's still multiple offers going on, because there will be some neighborhoods that will always be in demand, so I'm not doubting that's still not going on, but the prices are nothing like what we were seeing only a few months ago. So at most, I would say balanced market, and in some areas, I'd say we're in a buyer's market. I think that's about it. I think that's all I want to cover from Mississauga. Hopefully this helps you guys out in case you guys are thinking of buying or selling in Mississauga, because this is just raw data. I did not manipulate these numbers in any way. But if you guys need any help, honest advice, and honest agent who's going to work hard for you, reach out to me. You can call me or text me at this number, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. See ya.